What up? Welcome to another episode of One Up Monday. Today we're going to be talking about the Marvel theory and how it can be used to give your music a third dimension. Now first, what is the Marvel theory? The Marvel theory is a theory that suggests that a particular story gains credibility when it contains references to other stories, with the best example of this being Marvel Studios. Now, we've all seen superhero movies in some form or another, whether that's DC or Marvel, but what Marvel has done with their movies is create such an intricate web of stories interacting with each other that it's almost like a maze that you have to be a part of to understand it all. And with the earlier Marvel movies, there wasn't as many references. Each reference made it that much more intriguing. For example, do you remember at the end of Ant-Man and somebody mentioned something about some guy that was able to climb up the walls? To us, that's like a yo, no way, because we know that is Spider-Man. So that automatically gave that story more credibility because it connected with another one that we were already familiar with. This idea is also the reason why backlinks are so important to have. For example, if I made a website and somebody else put a link to my website from another website, that would give my website more credibility and more trust, which would make Google promote it higher when people are searching for my product or service. And it also helps with building your catalog and showing people you've worked with and credits. For example, we give DJ Pain 1 a lot of credibility because he has a lot of major artists that he's worked with in his Instagram bio. In the early 90s, it seemed like all the artists were doing this. It was everywhere. There's still some that are doing it today, but not nearly as much as they were doing it then. For example, in Represent, Nas says the BDP conflict with MC Shan back when Shantae dissed the real Roxanne. Those were both events that happened in hip-hop history, which if you were in the culture during that era, you would know exactly what those are, which automatically gave that song more credibility because it was allowing itself a space in that whole narrative. And they were even more subtle too, like when Mobb Deep said, "Thug life we still livin'" in their song Survival of the Fittest, which was actually a diss to Tupac. These references can also be used from a production standpoint as well, like when Tupac used the "Take Money" sample in his song Hit 'Em Up. That sample was actually from a Biggie song, so that made that song or diss towards Biggie that much more potent. So with all that said, using the Marvel theory in your lyrics and production can really give your track that third dimension and establish a lot of credibility. So here are 7 ways you can use the Marvel theory in your next project. You could reference a recent event that you know your audience would know about, so you could use maybe the Pete Davidson getting with Kim Kardashian and then Kanye West just going crazy. You could use a sample that's been widely used and has been used in very popular songs. And if you want to go do that, just go to whosampled.com, because that's like the spot for finding popular songs and who they've sampled. You could also do shoutouts to people you've worked with at like the beginning or end of your song. And if you need inspiration for this, just listen to that whole Mobb Deep album, The Infamous. It's got a ton of stuff on there. This one is a lot more subtle, but you could use a line or a flow from another really popular song or another song from an artist in your niche that your audience would know about, just to give them that third dimension. Or you could take a sample from one of your other songs, which will then tie your catalog together and make it like a whole universe in and of itself. And finally, you could reference an event or something that happened as a result of you releasing an album or a song. For example, I think it was Kendrick Lamar on his new album. He has a song like that, so take a listen to that and see if you can get some inspiration from it. So to tie it all together, the Marvel theory is incredibly powerful. It can be used to establish credibility, insert yourself in the greater narrative of your genre, and give your music a whole third new dimension. Let me know in the comments if you know of any other songs that use this method. I know there's a couple. Again, it's not as prevalent as it was in the 90s, but let me know in the comments what other songs reference other songs, other artists, just have other references in them. Once again, thank you for watching, and go make some music. Alright, peace.